Welcome back! Today we're on board Riverside Debussy, and we're going to give you a full tour of this amazing ship. We'll explore this ultra-luxury European river cruise ship, taste the amazing food, experience the high-end service, and check out all of the onboard amenities. Plus, we'll share the itinerary and some of the excursions from our 7-day Christmas cruise on the Rhine River. And stay tuned to the end for a surprise cameo from a popular travel content creator who you might recognize. So join us on our first ever river cruise and see if this ship, crew, and cruise line may just be the best there is. Welcome to Travel at Random. We're Trevor and Ryan. This channel started out of a love of travel. We're here to share unbiased and self-funded trip reports, hotel and flight reviews, and travel advice. We hope we inspire your next getaway. Check out our playlist in the description and browse the channel. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button and subscribe to keep up with our latest content. You can also check out our channel memberships here and on Patreon for even more content. Thank you for watching. Now let's get ready to embark on a festive trip. For all of the travel we've done, this is our first time taking a river cruise, or any cruise for that matter. When we started looking, we specifically wanted luxury accommodations and good food. After a bit of research and watching YouTube videos, we selected Riverside Cruises. This relative newcomer ticked all of the boxes for us. We've already released a video with a detailed review of our suite and what we paid for this cruise. If you haven't seen that, we'll link it in the description. But here's a short recap. Feel free to skip to the next chapter if you want to hop into the tour. Riverside Cruises is an offshoot of the Seaside brand of hotels. Their focus is on unique locations, personal service, and exclusive food. Riverside brings the same ideas to river cruising in Europe, and it's one of the newest brands. All 5 of their ships were acquired from Crystal River Cruises after it went bankrupt in 2022. We're on board Riverside Debussy, and she is one of 4 identical ships. Her sister ships are Bach, Mahler, and Ravel. Riverside is currently operating Debussy and Ravel, and chartering the other 2 to Uniworld, but Bach is slated to come back for the 2027 season. The 4 ships are each 135 meters long and 12 meters wide, and were built in 2018. Debussy mainly sails the Danube, Rhine, Main, and Moselle rivers. Ravel sails in France on the Rhone and Saône rivers. The ship has 4 decks, including the rooftop. Guest cabins are all located on decks 2 and 3, with 55 rooms on board for a total passenger maximum of 110. That's lower than most European river cruise boats. All of the rooms are above the waterline and feature floor-to-ceiling windows. There are 3 classes of cabin on board: the Symphony and Melody Suites, which are 188 square feet, the Riverside and Seahorse Suites, which are 253 square feet, and the Debussy Suite, which is 506 square feet. You can also book the Owner's Suite, which combines a Debussy Suite with the adjoining Riverside Suite. There are 80 crew on board, with a crew-to-passenger ratio of about 2 to 3, well above industry standard. This made for an incredible cruise and personalized service. We heard from fellow passengers who are experienced river cruisers that this is the best service they've seen on a river cruise. 2 details you might find helpful: the currency on board is the euro, and English is the primary language. Alright, let's step on board and explore the ship. Boarding can be done from decks 2, 3, or 4, depending on the mooring spot. The main reception lobby is on deck 2. We'll start our tour here. The lobby features a spiral staircase wrapping around a glass elevator. Here, you'll find the concierge and the guest experience team. The team were always friendly and greeted us by name anytime we came through. Across from the reception area is the Pantry. This place has a self-service espresso machine, tea, and boxes of water available 24/7, along with some fresh fruit and cookies. There are umbrellas set out at each exit door just in case you need one, and there are information screens here which have port information at each stop. While in reception, you can also request walking sticks or bicycles for use while in port. These are available at no charge. From here, if you head towards the aft or rear of the boat, you'll find the Seahorse deck cabins 200 to 229. Towards the bow is the main restaurant, Waterside. This elegant space spans the width of the ship and has large, floor-to-ceiling windows on both sides. There's a service station in the middle, which provides a nice separation from the other tables. It makes this space feel more intimate than a large dining hall you might find on other ships. There are a variety of types of tables with seating for 2, 4, and 6. For larger groups, the staff can move tables together. It was nice to have the option to sit with a group or sit as a couple. With Riverside, there are no assigned dining times. You can show up at any time during the window for breakfast, lunch, and dinner and get a table. The breakfast and lunch buffet is at the front end of the dining room. This area had a large selection of dishes and even a made-to-order station in the center. Meal times vary according to the schedule for that day and are included on the daily activity sheet placed in your room each night. While Waterside has specific hours, an early riser breakfast is set out at 6 a.m. in the reception's pantry area every day. And there's all-day dining options in the Bistro, and you can order room service at any time, so you'll never go hungry on board. Breakfast had a similar selection each day with plenty of choices depending on your mood. They offer made-to-order omelets, and there's a small a la carte menu as well, with items such as avocado toast and eggs Benedict. The lunch menu changed daily, and there was always a good variety of food. Each day had a new selection of charcuterie, small bites, salads, fresh breads, and a soup of the day. In the center were a range of hot dishes, and a grilled-to-order meat or seafood, fresh-made pasta, and a carving station. One of the nice things about the selection was you can eat healthy or indulge. And speaking of indulging, the pastry team on the ship is amazing, and the desserts were all fantastic. Plus, they changed daily. For a ship with a maximum of 110 passengers, it was incredible how much variety the menus offer. Everything set out on the buffets was well labeled and marked for allergies if there was anything you wanted to avoid. Dinner is a multi-course menu. The menu choices changed each day, but there is a fixed menu of items that were available every day, with some more traditional dishes like steak. We heard from several people how good their steaks were. Every night, the menu included a choice of starters, soups, mains, and desserts. A pasta of the day, cheese course, and a small sweet to go with tea or coffee were also available. You can order as much or as little as you like, and the crew were happy to make adjustments, including serving size. The onboard sommelier also picks a red and a white wine each evening that represent the region you're sailing. But there's a more extensive included wine list if you'd like to pick something different. If you really want to splurge, they also have a large selection of high-end wines for purchase. Simply put, the food is amazing. Every meal was unique and delicious. Here's a short example of some of the items and menus we encountered. All of the food was well prepared, and they frequently included high-quality ingredients like caviar and foie gras. The plating was outstanding and nothing repeated during our 6-night cruise. We also really appreciated the portion sizes, which were generous but spaced out and sized in a way that you could easily enjoy 4 courses and not feel stuffed at the end. Oh, and the bread service was unique each evening with a made-on-board flavored butter and fresh baked bread. The food and service were one of the highlights of this trip, and not just at dinner. Every meal on board was excellent. Heading upstairs from reception, you'll enter the second dining venue, Atelier, or Bistro, which has an espresso bar, gelato, and waffles throughout the day. This space is also the alternative, flexible dining option for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. There is a small buffet that is set out when breakfast closes downstairs, but you can also order made-to-order items here. It was nice to walk through this area and just pick up something to nibble on. Again, the pastry team was amazing. To one side of the bistro, you'll find a subtle door leading to the vintage room, the final dining venue. This is a supplemental option for dinner and seats up to 10. This is a multi-course tasting menu with wine pairings and is €295 per person. Opposite the vintage room is the library, which leads to the Palm Court Lounge. The library had board games, cards, and books, and the popcorn maker, which the crew had running for cocktail hour each night. Passing through the library, you'll enter the Palm Court Lounge. This is a stunning space with floor-to-ceiling windows which merge into a geometric grid of skylights. This space is modern and bright with comfortable seating and featured the Botanist Bar, the primary bar on board. We spent a lot of time in this lounge in the evenings and while underway. The bar is warmly lit and spacious. The drinks were excellent. A special cocktail of the day was available, and since this was a Christmas cruise, they also had seasonal drinks like Glühwein and eggnog. There was a list of craft cocktails, and they were happy to make anything you'd like. If you booked the premium all-inclusive package, most alcohol is included. There were a selection of red and white wines to suit your taste as well. When we hear all-inclusive alcohol, we always wonder what brands that actually includes. Obviously, there are some high-end wines and spirits that will cost you extra. But here's an example of what's included. Spirits included Grey Goose, Belvedere, Tanqueray, Hendrick's, Bombay Sapphire, Jack Daniel's Black, Maker's Mark, Jameson, Johnny Walker Black, Glenfiddich 12-Year, and Talisker. There were more premium spirits available at an additional cost, which included Johnny Walker Blue for €32 and Glenfarclas 25-Year at $47, just to give some examples. For wines, there was a mix of reds and whites from all of the major wine-growing regions. For example, the Cabernet from California was the Robert Mondavi Napa Valley. Included champagne on board was Tattiger. The Palm Court Lounge also serves as the main gathering space for presentations, port talks, and evening entertainment. Nightly, the cruise director has a brief presentation about the next day's activities and answers any questions. The crew would also go around and confirm your excursions individually. On days where we had extended periods underway, the crew also arranged onboard activities in the Palm Court. There were demonstrations like how to make local Rudesheim coffee, Christmas cookie decorating, and a Christmas market where they brought up some traditional dishes like Kartoffelpuffers, roasted chestnuts, and fresh-made crepes. I know I said it before, but the crew were fantastic, friendly, and wanted to ensure everyone had a great time on board. Alright, let's head aft, back through the Bistro, where you'll find the Deck 3 cabins, the Symphony, Riverside, and Owner Suites, cabins 300 to 327. If you didn't see last week's video, we have tours of all 3 cabin types, so check out the link in the description if you'd like to see each in detail. The pool area is enclosed with large floor-to-ceiling windows facing out the back and a large glass atrium above. The pool is small but features a resistance training system if you want to swim laps. There's a restroom and lockers here for use, along with a variety of waters and even some more cookies. This was a nice, quiet area to sit and relax. We never saw this area busy. While it was cold for our trip, you can exit out to the back to a small terrace with chairs and tables. This was the smoking area. This makes sense having this at the rear. There are also stairs you can take to reach our last stop, Deck 4. The top of the ship is the Vista deck. This space is an expansive rooftop with plenty of sun loungers, comfy seating, tables under shade canopies, and the Vista bar, which was open when the weather permitted. There's a large TV up here as well, usually playing live sports. On warmer cruises, they make use of the green egg smoker grills for some barbecue lunches. While the weather in December was chilly, there were some milder days and people did make use of the bar and space. This area was also fantastic to go spotting the castles as we navigated through the Rhine Valley. The canopies and bar can retract to allow the ship to pass under low bridges, and there were distance markers on the deck if you wanted to run laps up here. If jogging isn't your thing, don't worry. Let's go check out Deck 1, where you'll find the onboard gym. Deck 1 is accessible from the spiral staircase in the lobby and is home to the well-equipped fitness center, guest laundry area, and spa treatment room. There is an onboard spa treatment room with massages and facials. The last space here is the guest laundry room. This space is free for guests to use, but the ship does also offer laundry service for a fee. So that is the whole ship tour, but a river cruise is more than just the accommodations and food. We booked the Yuletime on the Rhine, which left from Frankfurt, Germany, and spent 6 nights on the Rhine and Main rivers. Riverside allows you to book segments of a route, and some passengers get on and off every few days. This was a Christmas market cruise, and the boat was tastefully decorated for the season. Our route took us from Frankfurt to the towns of Bonn, Cologne, Dusseldorf, Koblenz, Rudesheim, Mannheim, Mainz, and then back to Frankfurt. The length of each stop varied, and most days we had 2 cities to visit. We spent more time in Dusseldorf, which was the next embarkation-debarkation stop. Overall, the boat stuck to the schedule fairly well. But in Rudesheim, for example, we arrived about 45 minutes later than planned, and with such a short stop, didn't have much more than an hour of usable port time. So be flexible with your plans and know that you'll never be left behind when you're on the ship's planned excursions. The excursions leaned into the Christmas theme, and each stop had excursions to the markets. But there were also more evergreen options to palaces, museums, and even a winery. We chose to book our trip without the excursions included, since we generally prefer to walk and explore on our own. Riverside has 2 motor coaches which are very nice and comfortable that they use for excursions that are beyond a moderate walking distance. Our excursion departed the boat in Worms and then drove to Mainz in order to give us a little extra time for one last market. The ship sailed up to meet us here a few hours later. This tour went to the Gutenberg Museum and then finished at the Mainz Christmas Market. We thought this approach to booking was great, since it gave us the flexibility to choose what we wanted to do in each stop. On many river cruise lines, they are just baked into the cost. If you want to know how much all of this costs, check out our other video where we break down the full fare we paid for this 6-night, 7-day adventure. The service on board was outstanding. It was high-touch service with all of the crew being very friendly and outgoing, though it never felt intrusive or stuffy. All of the guest experience team knew us by name the first day.
This was our first river cruise, and one of the things we heard about river cruising is it's a great way to meet new people. Look at who we met. Hi!
It was great meeting Jeb and Suzanne from Greener Grass. They shared some of their YouTube wisdom, and we talked all about travel. If you're wondering, they truly are as nice in person as they appear in their videos. This was our first experience with Riverside, and we couldn't have been happier. We definitely would do this again. Let us know in the comments if we should check out the Danube or Rhine River next.
So we're getting to the end of the cruise. What did you think of Riverside?
You know,
Debussy?
well, this was our first river cruise, and I couldn't have been happier with the experience. It was well represented online, and it does look like it does online, but it's nicer quality finishes than I think I was expecting. The service has been fantastic. I mean, there are so many staff on board, and they're so friendly.
Yes, this is definitely a very high level of service. We've heard from a few folks on the boat who have been on other cruise lines, and everyone has commented just how high quality the food is, how quality the staff is. Thanks for making it to the end of the video. If you did like it, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe for additional new content.
And if you haven't checked it out already, we did the room tour separately. That has already come out. We also have a video of the Christmas markets that we attended on this cruise.
Thanks for watching. On to the next adventure.